Hey everybody, and welcome to the 1044, a weekly webisode and podcast from the editors here at CCJ, Overdrive, and Truck Parts Service. I'm James Gillette, and my co-host on the other side is Jason Cannon. This week on the 1044, Jason gets up close with Kenworth's new on-highway flagship. After 8 years on the road, Kenworth's current generation T680 gets an aero and a technology makeover. 2021 has been quite a year for new truck intros, and we're just 6 weeks into it. Yesterday, Kenworth pulled the curtain back on its updated T680. Jason's on the scene, and he's one of the first in the country to get behind the wheel.
Yeah, behind me is a model year 2021 T680. It's getting sort of reinvented for the 2021 model year. I'm about to hop in this beautiful truck. I'm going to take it around for a drive in the greater Renton, Washington area. So I'll catch you guys in just a few minutes.
Whenever a truck model gets updated, fuel economy and technology are always a major focus. Here's Kenworth Director of Marketing, Jamin Suezo, with a high-level rundown of some of the truck's exterior features.
I'm just going to kind of reiterate some of the things that they talked about. 8-inch narrower hood here. As you can see in person, you can really get a feel for how much narrower we brought that front profile back down from the T680 kind of legacy product that's out there in the market today. This resembling a little bit more, like Ryan mentioned, the T660. Even T600, like that narrowness from the original aerodynamic design that we brought in. You can kind of see the aero features we talked about, the air dams on the side, so you've got great ground clearance still center of the truck. We're managing airflow underneath. Some of these components actually roll underneath the truck for about, I don't know, almost a couple feet under there to really control that airflow as it goes under the truck and then give you good, ground clearance to the tire strike area there, so you've got that entry plane that's still very good from a ground clearance perspective. Wheel well closeouts redesigned for this hood, and then down the truck, obviously the fenders and chassis fairings completely redesigned for aerodynamics, as well as ingress egress in the cab. The LED side turn indicators here are in your face. They're supposed to be, so when you're driving up next to somebody here, they're going to be able to see that you're wanting to make a lane change very clearly. Great step forward there for safety, both for the driver and other vehicles. And good, cool styling feature as well. They really light up. They're awesome looking at night. Let's see. We mentioned the flip down here for the battery access panel. Really easy, just grab handle there that you pull forward so you can inspect your battery, your cables, your batteries themselves, and then without having to unbolt anything or anything like that. So fuel and def in one place. So this was a conscious decision made to put the fuel tank, the fuel fill and the def fill in the same location rather than two separate locations. The idea there was to make the driver make a conscious decision of which one to put it in instead of making a mistake going from one to the other. So you're looking at it clearly labeled with the blue def here, fuel fill there, and then they're next to each other there. Let's see, lower fairing extensions, we had talked about that in length, about how durable those are. We've done curb strike testing and all that, so they'll fold up out of the way. And I think one of you asked the question, are they replaceable? So you can see they're split at the fairing line, and then they're just bolted to that, so you can replace those pretty easily there. And the point is, we want to keep these parts on the truck because they're not doing their job if they are being torn off. So they're very durable design, but replaceable if necessary. If you wanted to swing around and look at this side here, Joe is going through aerodynamics and controlling the airflow, so it's coming through the hood of the truck, but also allowed to leave through a vent here. So it's kind of populating this space with positive airflow too, helping the laminar flow down the side of the truck and controlling the airflow through the hood, past the engine compartment and out the back there.
Up front, Kenworth has made LED headlamps optional. Here's Jamin again with a look.
So our new best in class, as bright as you can make an LED light in the market, with the signature DRL daytime running light that kind of swoops down all the way through the LED. You can kind of follow that on the chrome design on the bumper there, back up the other side. So those are our daytime running light and LED, and then the LED headlights. These are optional. The standard is a best in class halogen light.
You can clearly see how much attention aerodynamics got at the front of the truck, but here's Kenworth Product Planning Manager Ryan Reed to talk about what's going on at the rear.
So we have these longer 28-inch
Side extenders gives you easy access to frame access. You really want to close out this gap between the tractor and the trailer, so these are a great option to keep your wheelbase small, but also really tighten up that gap. And then we have our tandem fairings, so a similar material as the under fairing, lower fairing extensions, but very, very durable, simple design, easy to replace, and then they're just maintaining that laminar flow across the side of the tractor and trailer. Great new simple design for that.
On the tech side, the new T680 got a major ADAS upgrade with the inclusion of lane keep assist. There's also a new 15-inch digital instrument cluster, which looks pretty cool. Here's Jason with more on that.
Beyond the way the truck looks outside, I guess the biggest change for this model year is going to be the driver information display, which is what you're looking at right here. Yeah, I really like this format, and I know some people are probably looking at it right now going, wow, I don't really need to see all that. And that's fine, because thanks to this little wheel right here, it's completely customizable, so I can have it show as much or as little as I like. I'm a driver that I like to see as much information as I can possibly see, so this is really appealing to me. But I can dial this little wheel down and I can customize my display. Right here this is the favorites setting, so I could put anything on this display right here that I want. If I want to do away with some of the data, maybe I don't care so much what's in certain tanks or what my fuel filter looks like, or I can take that off the screen. I can go back to a full display, which is what you see here. I can have, just the critical stuff, my coolant, my fuel, air pressure, and oil. It's all right here in front of me. And then I can go up here. Maybe this is a different set. This right here would be something maybe for nighttime driving. And you're going down the road, you don't necessarily want all that stuff right there glaring you in the face, so you dial it down to something like this. The handy part here is, obviously you can't see the air pressure, but let's just say your air starts leaking down. Once that gets down to a critical level, that's going to pop back up so you can see it, you know what's going on, and it's going to come back up before you get any sort of codes or any sort of errors or faults, because it's going to give you the opportunity to address that before it becomes an actual issue. And that's not unique just for the air, it's for anything that you don't see here. As you get into a certain range to where you need to pay some attention to it, it's going to lift itself back into this display, giving you enough time to get to a place to where you can deal with whatever the issue is.
So after a day with the truck, here's Jason's final thoughts on the T680 he drove, which is the deep cerulean, and that's the color of the truck, by the way, not a Star Trek reference.
So this new T680 behind me had about 600 or so miles on it when I hopped in it. Now it's got a little over 700 miles. Yeah, this is a really cool truck. It's a really nice truck. The aesthetics of this truck on the outside are really pleasing. It's got this whole fluidity, moving when it's standing still sort of look to it. It's really visually striking. The narrower hood, it looks really nice. The visibility on this truck is great. Inside, supremely quiet. I think that's sort of the industry standard now, that the volume inside the cab has come down a lot. That's certainly applicable in here. The instrument cluster is really cool. Very automotive in styling, very technologically advanced, really sophisticated. All in all, I would say for 2021 and a refresh of the T680, Kenworth knocked this one out of the park.
Well, that's this week's episode of the 1044. As always, we welcome your feedback. Please send us an email at 1044trucking@gmail.com. Again, that's 1044trucking@gmail.com, or give us a call, 404-491-1380, to leave us a voicemail. Until next week, everybody stay safe.